everyone, it's Kay from KDigitalStudio, and today I'm doing a video on how to create templates in your own digital planner or digital notebook. This was a well-requested video, so I'm excited to finally be filming it today for you all. For today, I'm going to show you how to make 3 different templates: a monthly template, a weekly template, and a budget template. I primarily like to use the app Keynote to create my templates. As you know, this is also the app that I use to create my digital planners and digital notebooks. If you're interested in learning how to create your own digital planner or digital notebooks, you can check out the video on my YouTube channel, and I'll also link that down below in the description. So before we get started, I wanted to let you all know that Keynote is an Apple iOS product. However, you can still use Keynote if you do not have an iPad or Apple device. Just go to iCloud.com, create an iCloud account, and then you'll be able to access Keynote on your internet browser. The functions in Keynote, since it is a PowerPoint software, are primarily the same as the functions in Microsoft PowerPoint, so hopefully you'll be able to follow along with this video. But I don't want you to think that you can't create templates just because you don't have an iPad or Apple product. So I'm going to show you all how to create a template within a digital planner or digital notebook. However, if you want to create a template to pull into your already made digital planner or digital notebook that's already imported into GoodNotes or whatever app you use, you can create templates on a blank Keynote presentation, which I will show you an example of. So for instance, here's a daily page that is in my new day planner, and as you can tell, I just made this template on a blank Keynote presentation. So what you'll do with these is you'll just hit these 3 circles right here, hit export, and export is an image. You can then pull it into the app Magic Eraser, and this app has ads because it's free. You can actually go in and here's my promotions calendar for December. But just to show you how Magic Eraser works, you can just click any white space and it'll make it transparent. So you can do that with your templates as well if you were to do a blank template like this. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you how to make a template in a planner or notebook. So I'm going to create a template in my new dated 2020 planner. This planner is Watercolor Poppy. It's available in my shop. I'll also link that down below. But I'll show you how I create my templates and planners like these. So as you can see, I have it open in Keynote. We'll assume that I'm continuing from my last digital planner video of showing you how to create it. You have all your tabs ready. The planner is ready to go. You just need to fill it with templates. I am going to show you how to make a monthly template in several different ways. So the first way that I like to create my monthly templates is honestly the easiest way. What I do is I actually go into my camera roll, so I'll hit the plus button, photo or video, and then I'll scroll because I have plenty of photos on this iPad. And I'll actually scroll and pull in an image of my monthly templates. And so what I did was I actually created my monthly templates in a blank presentation, exported and saved it as an image. So now whenever I want to make my templates, all I have to do is pull it in as an image. So there's one side of it. As you can see, this saves plenty of time. I can just pull in the other side of the monthly template and I'm good to go and make my other templates. However, if you're creating a monthly template for the first time, I can show you 2 different ways. There's an easier way and a hard way, and I'll show you the easy way first. So you'll click this plus button right here in Keynote, and then click this graph-like icon to the leftmost side, and you'll click any one of these tables. And then hopefully you'll see where I'm going with this. This automatically imported as 4 rows and 5 columns and 4 rows. And I think I'm going to put this down to 3. So if you want to change the rows or the columns, you'll come up here and click on it, and you'll click this like little pause button looking thing, and you'll either click up or down. So I'm going to make 3 here, and I'm actually going to make 6 rows. And then I made 6 rows because usually there's 5 weeks within a monthly template, but I also wanted to create a little tab to put the days of the week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the number 1 here, and it's going to highlight the whole row, and then there's going to be this little like 2-dash line here, as you can see, and I'm just going to pull it up to change the shape or size of the row. And I'm going to do that again, and if you see here, you'll see where points come up, and so that's how you can make sure you have an even amount for each of your rows. Then I'm going to copy, paste, put this on the other side, but 7 days in a week, so I'm going to add 4 columns. And then to make it even, I'm just going to pull this over here, line it up, and then resize to make it even. See? And then based on that, it's pretty even. So I'm going to move these back over. Voila. And as you can tell, I automatically imported it as this grayscale color. But if you tap it and go into this paintbrush icon, you can format all your different rows. So if you go to cell, you can format the text in it. So let's say I'm going to put Sunday. I'm going to go in here, change my font if I want. So let's do this cute font. It's a little too big, so we'll make that smaller. Put it up more. Yeah. Down here, if you want to change the color of your cells, you can come in here. You can click white if you want the all white option. You can have border styles. So let's go with like a black border. Go down. Yep, I'm fine with that. We'll make it all black. And there you go. So those are the changes I made based on that. And I'll also show you how to put in numbers. So let's say if we were making December, December starts on a Sunday. So I typed in a 1. I'll change my font to my own font. Did it register? Okay. And then to get it into whatever corner, you can hit the side and then up. This little up button, and I'll put it in the top corner. Yeah, and so you'll just go in, you'll type your numbers in, do the same process. You can also change the size because it's a little big. So we'll do 15. And voila, that's the easiest way to make these. And it also ensures that your columns are appropriately spaced. Now I will show you the harder way to make monthly templates, which is what I used to do before I was better at making these tables. So what I did is I selected a square by hitting the plus button, the plus button and pulling in the square here. Now I'm going to select a square and go into the paintbrush button. I'm going to click fill and scroll all the way over so there's no fill. And then I'm going to turn the border on. I like to do mine 1 point in the black color. And then I'll come over here, make my little box, and I'll hit the plus button again and pull in this line. So this is manually creating your table, which is something I used to do when I was first making my monthly templates. And these are the same functions that I'll use to create weekly templates as well. So as you can see, I'm just making sure my lines are in order. copy and paste. Now I'm going to go about making the rows. So this is a great option if you want to customize the way your monthly template looks a little more than what's available with the table option. Whoops, I meant to copy that. So copy and paste. A caveat with this though is that you also have to import or create your own text as well. So I'm going to go up here to the plus button. I'm going to click the text option. And then if I want to add text, I have to manually put in my text. So there's Sunday, and if I want to add a 1 for the date, I have to do that as well. So as you can see, this is a lot more tedious. It does offer more customization. However, if you're creating a monthly template for the first time, there's plenty of stuff that you can do with the tables, and I recommend the tables. Once you've created a monthly template that you like and that you think should be standard across your planners, you can save it as an image and import in your planners to save time, like I suggested earlier. And so that's how you'll create a monthly template within your digital planner. So now I'm going to show you how to create a weekly template. Weekly templates vary a lot more than monthly templates do, so this will be all on you on how you want to create your monthly or weekly templates, but I'll show you how I create my standard weekly templates. So with the weekly templates, again, you can go in and you can create a table and do the number of rows or columns that you wish, add in the text like you do with the monthly templates. However, because I like to make my weekly templates a little more customized, a little more unique, I'll actually go in and to this plus button in Keynote, pull in a square like I did with the more difficult way to make a monthly template. And I'll go in and create my weekly templates like so. So let's see, for my weekly templates, I like to use the boxed versions. So I'll do a horizontal box. So I'll do no fill again, select border on, 1 point black is usually my favorite, and I'll copy and paste. And with these weekly templates, it's a little bit of trial and error to make sure the boxes are appropriately spaced. So one way to help with making sure your boxes are appropriately spaced is to make sure you have your guidelines on. And you can check by going to these 3 buttons in the rightmost corner. My iPad's dying, oh no. And then you'll scroll down to this guides section. You'll click on guides, and I recommend having all 3 guides on. As you can see, there's edge guidelines, center guidelines, and spacing guides. So feel free to select or deselect the ones that you think you need. I usually have all of mine on. Yeah, so I'm gonna go in and paste one last box. And let me try and get my spacing right. And these yellow lines that you see popping up are those guides that are helping me place my boxes. Okay, so as you can see, I have a little bit of white space at the top of my paper and a lot of white space at the bottom of my paper, but I want those to be more centered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my one finger and hold this down and then touch the others to select them all, and then I can move them all. Looks pretty centered to me. I like that, so I'm going to leave it like that. And so that's 4 of the 7 days. So I'm going to come in and do the same thing, but copy and select only 3 of them. And paste those over here. I'm going to have my guides help me a bit to place. And there you have it. So those are my 7 boxes for my weekly. You can also type in these boxes as well. However, I was in white. That's helpful. So we'll go in and change the text color here. But I find it more useful and easier for me to use the plus button and text option myself. However, since I want my days of the week to be in the top left corner, I'm just going to type it in like so. So I actually like my days to start on Sunday, or my weeks to start on Sunday. So I'm gonna do that. I also off-centered my box, which is great. And I'm gonna change the box to one of my favorite fonts, actually. One of my favorite fonts is Unicorn Snowflakes, which you can get on defont.com. There you'll be able to download free fonts, which is really awesome. So I'm gonna type Monday, go into the paintbrush option, scroll down to text color, black. Then I'm gonna go to the font selection, scroll down to my Unicorn Flakes tab, and then up to the left. And I'm pretty satisfied with the size of the font, so I'll leave that like it is. And then I'm just gonna repeat. Didn't realize I mistyped with this white font. And then repeat. A little point of advice though, to speed up this process, what you can do is you can copy and paste a box with text already in it. So I can copy and paste this Tuesday and then just change it to Wednesday. That way it already has my default settings for the text. So I'm going to finish my weekly by doing that. And there are so many fast ways to navigate Keynote, and I surely have not learned all of them. So Friday and Saturday. So see, that was much quicker. So here is my weekly template. And if you want to customize it more, you obviously can. You can go in and add like a notes section. So let's say we want to make a to-do list. So I'm going to pull in this text. I'll put priorities. Thank you, autocorrect. And I'll make it in the same font, Unicorn Flakes. We'll make this a little smaller. Let's do 15. And let's say I want to make my checklist. So I like to go in, make a circle, and I'm going to zoom in a bit so I can get a little more precision. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to go to Style, Fill, scroll over to No Fill, add my border. Pretty satisfied with that. Copy, paste. Then I'm going to select both, copy, paste, paste. So there's my priorities checklist. You can also go in and add lines as you wish. I'm going to go in and make this 1 point, stretch this out, and then line it up like so. There's my lines for my priorities list. Here's an example of a template for the week. So of course you can make your templates for your week however you want. So if you want to make your week vertical, you can go all the way down and across and just copy and paste. There's just so much that you can do, so you'll have to explore Keynote. So lastly, I'm going to create a budget template just to give you an idea on how to create a template other than a weekly or a monthly template. And similarly, I'm going to make use of the tools under this plus button, whether it be the graph function or any one of these shapes. So for my budget template, I like to have a list of transactions or reoccurring bills. So I'm going to use my table option. But first, I want to decorate my page a little bit. So I'm just going to put my budget. And let's see, go over to my text option, pick a nice font, maybe like that, pretty big. And let's see, I want to have a date of the transaction, the type of transaction, the location of the transaction, the category of the transaction, whether it's entertainment or bills or food, and then the price. So I'll need to add one more column, and then I will add a bunch of rows. I think that's pretty good. So now I'm going to go into my paintbrush and I'm going to format it a bit. So I want my cell to be white. And let's see, whatever text I put in my cells, I would like it to be one of my favorite fonts, Unicorn Flakes. We'll make this a little smaller, 15 maybe. Go in and type my column headers. So I'll do date, I'll do item, or actually I'll type transaction. And if you want to change the size of the column, you can click the entire column itself. I don't need my date category to be that big, so I'll do that. Let's do category next. Actually, let's do location. Location, category. I totally see I misspelled it, no worries. Location, and then price. So I want my category to be a little bigger, so I'm going to select the whole row and drag it over. And let's see. Yes. So as you can see what I just did, I just selected this whole row and I want it to be a different header color. So I'm going to go into cell fill and pick a fun color. Actually, let's go pretty dark, and then I'll change my text color to white. It's very pretty. So that's my first side of my budget template. So for my next slide, I'll do bills. So I'll copy and paste, center, and then I'll do bills. As it stands, if you create a template in Keynote, that will be a permanent setup. So if there's anything that you want to put in your planner that won't be permanent, then don't use Keynote. So for the last section of this video, I wanted to show you all how I get the different paper styles that appear in all of my planners. So I have the blank white, which is just the blank white page, like so. Didn't do anything to that except pull in a box, change it to white, as you'll see in the Create Your Own Digital Planner video. However, I also have paper styles like dot grid or your regular grid or graph paper, as well as lined and a notebook style. So I wanted to show you all how I go about making templates for that. So I'm just going to find a blank page, and then so what I like to do to make those templates is I go to my internet browser and I go to printablepaper.net. And this is a great website that has thousands of different papers and templates that you can pull in. And this is where you can find paper styles to import into your digital planners or digital notebooks. So this is the landing page of the website, and as you can see, it already has the notebook style. As you scroll down, you'll see different graph style, you'll have your dot grid, and so that's how you can find the different paper styles for your planner. So I'm going to click on this dot grid paper with 4 dots per inch on a letter-sized paper. I'm going to download for free in PDF format. And click my download button, and if you have the new iPad iOS update, there'll be a down arrow here in the top right corner. You'll click that and you can just select your download, and it'll automatically open. And actually copy to GoodNotes. Since it's in PDF format, you really need it in image format. And this is one of the faster ways I know how to do PDF to PNG. I'm actually going to import into GoodNotes, and then I'm going to click the export up arrow button right here in the top left corner. Export this page, and I'm actually going to choose image, export button, and then I'm going to go down here to save image. So that saved that to my camera roll. I'm going to go back to Keynote, click the plus button, and go over here to the rightmost corner and click this image button, click photo or video, and then go in to my recent image. And so this is my dot grid. And as you can see, there's this extra white space on either side, so I'm actually going to go in and click this paintbrush option, click the image selection in the middle, and I'm going to click edit mask. And this kind of acts like a crop tool, and I'm actually going to crop to here and crop down, and then I'm going to go to here for my crop. And then as you can see, it has the proportions of the image constrained. So if you don't want to have constrained proportions for your image, you'll also go into the paintbrush icon. You'll go to Arrange and click Arrange, and then you'll deselect constrained proportions. And that way you can resize your image based on how you want. However, I don't really like how stretched out the dots look whenever I do that, so I'm actually going to go about halfway. I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to make sure it lines up pretty well with the rest of the dots, and then go up from there. Then I'm actually going to select both of them. I'm going to go to Style, and I'm going to turn the opacity down. And that's how you do the dot grid. And then you'll just copy and paste over onto the other page. So that's how you'll do a paper style template like dot grid or grid line or graph paper lined notebook style. There are plenty of options on printablepaper.net. Making these own designs are a little difficult, but it's possible using Procreate. So my dot grids look a little different from these because I created my own using Procreate. Going in, creating symmetrical dots, copy and paste over and over in Procreate until I make my own grid paper. Just because I want to be creative and make my own things. However, printablepaper.net is a great option if you want to import different paper designs. So I will have that linked down below as well. And they're adding tons of new paper each day, so if you wanted to add in your own templates on here instead of creating your own monthly or weekly, that's also an option as well. So this was a video on how to create your own templates within your digital planner. Hopefully this was helpful. As you can see, making your own templates requires a little bit of creativity and practicing with Keynote or the functions in whatever app or device that you are using. I feel like every time I go to create a template, I make it a different way each time, so each time it turns out a little different, which is fun. So this was how to create a basic weekly or basic monthly or budget template, as well as pull in different paper designs. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer any of them below. But as usual, I will see you on my next video. Thank you.